Welcome to the Ignite Growth podcast, helping us thrive in our personal and professional lives. Today, we're exploring a framework to help us understand why some people grow and others don't. Many of us spend time reading books, purchasing courses on YouTube, going to workshops, etc. However, personal growth is not always guaranteed and can feel like we are on a hamster wheel, learning but never really changing. We've been diving deep into this framework called the 5 Pillars of Growth, developed by Dion Jude, the creator of Review, the personal growth system for entrepreneurs. What's fascinating is how it addresses exactly this challenge. I used to think that personal growth was a given once you read all the right stuff, and that business was about hustle and grind. Well, new research shows that 76% of sustainable business growth actually comes from having structured systems in place. And I believe this relates to personal and professional growth too.
That's fascinating because it completely challenges the common startup mentality of working yourself to exhaustion, and that the more you read or listen to, the more you learn. How do you think the framework can help us? Trust me, I have been on the hamster wheel like many others.
When I looked into this model, Dion developed this to help explain why some people grow and why others don't, and what to do about it. What's really interesting is how it approaches personal growth as an outcome of a systematic process rather than a series of random wins. Dion shared that the 5 pillars are being intentional, being self-aware, being a conscious learner, being reflective, and being consistent.
I love it. I always wonder why personal growth seems to happen quicker for some and not for others, including myself. I really need an approach that can help me stay on track, rather than jumping from book to book or course to course.
Exactly that. Many of us start off well, wanting to grow, but then life and business takes over. This approach really helped me figure out what I needed to do to stay on track. Let's take the first pillar, being intentional. Studies show that people who set specific daily intentions are 42% more likely to achieve their goals than those who don't. It's not just about being busy, it's about making every action count toward your larger vision.
That reminds me of a book by Wayne Dyer called The Power of Intention, where he suggests intention is an important driver in achieving outcomes. How does someone actually implement this intentionality in their daily life?
Well, here's where it gets interesting. The framework suggests using daily journaling, but not in the way most people think. Instead of Dear Diary entries, you're asking yourself targeted questions like, are my actions today contributing to my vision tomorrow? Research shows that people who journal with specific prompts see a 37% increase in goal achievement compared to those who journal freely. The Review platform has a morning check-in where you can answer a few questions to help get the day started in the right way. That connects perfectly to the second pillar, being self-aware, helping us understand how someone develops honest self-assessment without getting caught in their own blind spots.
You know, that's where the data gets really compelling. Studies indicate that people who combine self-reflection with external feedback are 58% more likely to make meaningful behavioural changes. What about the learning aspect?
Before I share the third pillar, just on your point about self-reflection, going back to the morning check-in, I think it would also help with increasing self-awareness because you are asking yourself questions that leads to an increased understanding of self over time. The third pillar, being a conscious learner, is actually revolutionary in its simplicity. Recent neuroscience research shows that micro-learning sessions of just 15 minutes per day can lead to more sustainable skill development than lengthy, sporadic training sessions. It's about creating these small, consistent learning moments rather than waiting for major educational opportunities.
That makes me think about how Silicon Valley companies are restructuring their entire professional development programs around this concept. Did you say the Review platform has short lessons linked to many personal growth topics?
Yep, there's hundreds of reflective questions, some with videos to make learning about ourselves easy and in bite-sized chunks. Well, here's what's fascinating about the fourth pillar, being reflective. It's not just about thinking back on your day. It's about creating systematic feedback loops that inform future actions. Review encourages entrepreneurs to be reflective daily.
And I imagine this all ties into consistency, the final pillar.
Exactly right. The data on consistency is mind-blowing. Studies show that consistent small actions maintained over 66 days are 2.5 times more effective at creating lasting change than intensive but irregular efforts. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up regularly.
That completely shifts how I think about personal and professional development. What's the first step someone should take to implement these pillars?
Dion suggests starting small, spending just a few minutes each day on one pillar, then gradually building up. It's like compound interest for personal growth, small, consistent investments that yield significant returns over time. The key is starting small enough that it feels almost impossible to fail.
Well, this certainly gives us a lot to think about when it comes to sustainable growth and success. This model has taught me it's about being proactive about my growth, showing up more, getting to know myself better, especially my blind spots, being open to learning opportunities, taking action on what I have learned, and reflecting on my learning and experiences.
Indeed, it does. And remember, these 5 pillars aren't just theoretical concepts. They're practical tools that, when implemented consistently, create the foundation for both personal and professional growth. The research is clear. Systematic approaches beat sporadic effort every time. So with a clear vision, strategy, and daily micro-actions, growth will happen.
Where can I find out more about Review, the 5 pillars, and daily journaling?
Well, I joined for free on the Review website at review.co and got started on the morning check-ins straight away. Thank you for listening. Let's be intentional about our growth in a consistent way that helps us get the results we deserve. See you next time.
Bye, and see you next time.